We are learning new information tonight about a violent murder at a popular retirement community in Montgomery County.
A stabbing and strangulation with an 80-year-old man in custody and his wife, Dad. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is live in Rockville with the very latest. Bob.
Hey there, Julie and Tisha. The suspect went before a judge here in Rockville this afternoon. He was ordered held without bond and to undergo a mental health evaluation. Now, his name is Vivian Nation. He is being charged with first-degree murder in the weekend killing of his wife of 13 years, Beverly Rose Fletcher. She was 78. In court documents, police say the killing was the result of a fight between the two over a matter involving his doctor. It happened at Leisure World in Silver Spring Saturday night around 6 p.m. Police say they found Miss Fletcher with multiple stab wounds and a bloody knife and screwdriver inside their third-floor apartment at a high-rise there. In court documents, investigators say they also believe a hammer was used to strangle the victim. Sources say the suspect may suffer from dementia and may have been using alcohol in the hours before the attack.
It's fairly apparent to those who've had contact with Mr. Nation that there may be some cognitive issues that are involved in this case. As a result, Judge Del Pino ordered that there be an evaluation done to determine whether or not the defendant is able to meaningfully assist his counsel.
I'm almost 80 years old, live with my wife. We're doing fine. I hope and pray that this would not happen to me.
Just shocked. No place is safe anymore, unfortunately.
This place is so peaceful, and everybody is very loving and caring around here. So I'm pretty taken aback. That's shocking. It really is.
Now, we believe the suspect, Vivian Nation, was retired from MCPS, where he had worked in building services, most recently at College Gardens Elementary School here in Rockville. Mr. Nation was ordered back to court next week so the judge can get an update on his mental health evaluation. Now, one of his relatives and his wife's best friend were in the court together today, but both declined to speak to us afterward.
Tonight, the search is on for the man accused of shooting and killing a 3-year-old girl in D.C.
Yeah, the suspect is a 24-year-old from the district. Fox 5's Nana Sinja Bonsu live with the update on this investigation. Hi, Nana.
Jim and Angie, good evening. So this shooting happened early Saturday morning, and the child, a 3-year-old, died 2 days later. Tonight, D.C. police say they have identified the man that they believe is responsible for this tragic shooting. His name is Charles Rucker, a 24-year-old man. This is the person detectives with MPD, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals are currently looking for. Early Saturday morning around 3 a.m., officers rushed to the 1000 block of 14th Street in Southeast about a shooting. When they arrived, they found 3-year-old Honesty Cheadle, who was shot in her upper body. Family confirms with Fox 5 that the child was shot in her head. We're told she was sitting in her father's car with other family members when at least one suspect opened fire in the direction of the car from the bottom of the street. Honesty was taken to the hospital and she passed away early Monday evening. Her great-uncle Raymond Cheadle wants justice for his family.
I'm not going to rest until I find out who did this, because that was one of my favorites right there. You know, this child didn't bother nobody. She didn't deserve to get hit. The persons or persons, whoever was responsible, turn yourself in. You know, you done hurt a baby, 3-year-old. Her name is Honesty Cheadle. She was 3 years old. What could she done to anybody?
Now, Honesty's aunt, who is her legal guardian, created a fundraiser to raise money for her funeral. We had a chance to speak with Tamika Butler, who says her niece fought for her life, describing her as a child who was full of light, personality, and so much promise. She was innocent and deserved a lifetime of love, joy, and safety. Right now, there is a reward of up to $50,000 for anyone who can help lead to the arrest of Rucker. Once Rucker is in custody, he is facing a first-degree murder charge.
Back, Maryland family mourning after their loved one was allegedly shot and killed by the father of her children days after getting released from jail.
Investigators now trying to piece together what happened after the domestic violence incident. Fox 5's Tisha Lewis joining us live from Landover with more on this case. Hi, Tisha.
Hi there, and lawmakers saying that today is a tough day because they are talking about this case. Police identifying the victim as 29-year-old Sharita Criswell. Her deceased body found in that apartment complex across the street behind me. The accused killer, no stranger.
I said, I'm going to tell you, don't ever put your hands on my daughter again, or we're going to have a problem. He said, Ma, I'm sorry, and I love you. I love your daughter. I'll never do it again. 4 days later, he killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids.
An emotional moment there for Jerice McCotter, saying her daughter's boyfriend turned accused killer, 32-year-old Harry Lindsay, was recently arrested for trying to strangle her daughter, 29-year-old Sharita Criswell. In that case, just 4 days prior, Lindsay was released over prosecutors' objections that he should be held without bond. Just days after being released, Lindsay is accused of fatally shooting Criswell, his girlfriend and mother of their 2 daughters. Lindsay is now charged in connection with her murder that reportedly took place on Saturday afternoon inside an apartment here on Stratford Way in Landover. When police and first responders arrived, Criswell was already dead. At a news conference today, newly elected County Executive Aisha Braveboy focused on the dangers of domestic violence and the need for incarceration of abusers who commit violence against family and intimate partners.
I handled several of these cases every single year. Families who were victimized by the death of a loved one. But it was those deaths that occurred at the hands of people who the victim knew and was supposed to be loved and cared for by the victim that hurt the most. And I always wonder, what could we have done differently?
Tisha, what more do we know about how Harry Lindsay was apprehended?
Lindsay was apprehended on Sunday in Capitol Heights, and police saying that they used surveillance video to track him down. He was on the run until they were able to nab him. He's now being held without bond. County Executive Aisha Braveboy saying that this is a homicide that should have never happened. Residents in the area not comfortable talking about this violent and deadly encounter on camera. Coming up at 5, though, we will hear from the victim's sister.
A Fairfax County man accused of killing his wife and another man is expected back in court today. Brendan Banfield was indicted by a grand jury on charges of aggravated murder for the deaths of his wife, Christine Banfield, and Joseph Ryan. According to investigators, Banfield told police that Ryan had broken into their Herndon home and attacked his wife. He claimed he shot Ryan in self-defense, but prosecutors say Banfield was having an affair with the couple's au pair and conspired with her to kill his wife and frame Ryan for her murder. Banfield's trial is set to begin in October. The au pair has already pleaded guilty to manslaughter. She will be sentenced in December.
A 70-year-old man accused in a brutal murder that's been unsolved for more than a quarter of a century. Tonight, D.C. police say they have their suspect for the violent killing of this 24-year-old woman in 1999. Fox 5's Bob Barnard outside D.C. Superior Court tonight, where that suspect went before a judge this afternoon.
Hey there, guys. The murder suspect, George Mudd, was dressed in a long white T-shirt and looking very much his age when he was ordered held without bond. The judge calling this case disturbing. Now, I want to show you a police flyer that went out 26 years ago after the May 21st, 1999 murder of 24-year-old Susan Severos. She was found stabbed to death that afternoon, face down on her bed inside her basement apartment in the 400 block of F Street Northeast. Prosecutors say Susan was stabbed 13 times, once across the neck. They say DNA evidence was found inside of her and on her nightgown. The fact her alleged killer has finally been arrested comes as great news to the woman who rented the apartment to Susan and has lived in that row house ever since. We agreed not to share her name or show you her face.
We are ecstatic to hear that this has been resolved. We've been so frightened, like earlier on, we were looking over our shoulder all the time, and then this is wonderful closure for her family. That's what we're really most happy about, because they have been suffering all this time, not knowing what happened to their daughter. That has got to be anguish on top of anguish.
Now, police say they have spoken to a sister of Susan's. As for murder suspect George Mudd, he's 70 years old, a retired construction worker, and longtime D.C. resident with 2 living children. He's charged with first-degree murder while armed. Prosecutors say Mudd had 2 prior convictions for attacks on women in the year 2000 and 2004, went to prison for those. Police say they have no motive for the killing. The 2 had met through other members of his family. Police telling us the DNA making their case.
The DNA has definitely been followed up on. You know, our technology has grown so much from 1999 to now. It's really grown, so we're able to utilize some of the new technology stuff to get us where we're at.
Now, police say they arrested Mudd at his home in Northeast yesterday. Again, he went before a judge ordered held without bond till his next court hearing later this month. Guys.